The Election Commission's door-to-door verification and special intensive revision of voter lists in poll-bound Bihar, underway for the first time since 2003, has sparked a political firestorm, Veera, and this comes just after the Congress party raised some very critical questions over electoral rolls in Maharashtra. Today, in fact, there was a meeting that was called by the ECI, but there were just two parties, CPIM and CPIML, that agreed to attend this. The Congress party says that the Election Commission is not willing to engage, but the ECI says that it's the Congress party that wants to spread lies.
While the EC calls it a legally mandated cleanup exercise to eliminate duplicates and ineligible entries, the opposition slams it as a covert NRC-style operation meant to disenfranchise marginalized communities just ahead of the assembly elections in Bihar. Critics say the short timelines, demand for birth and parental documents, and timing during monsoons will disproportionately impact marginal communities, which are the opposition's key vote base in states like Bihar, Vasudha.
That's right, Veera. The EC, however, has defended this move as routine, and it has also said that this is essential for the electoral rolls to get accurate and to weed out duplication and address concerns which in fact have been raised by the opposition. So that is what we discussed today. We are joined by Nasir Hussain, Congress MP. Thank you so much, Mr. Hussain, for speaking to NDTV, sir. There were several questions that the Congress party had raised after Maharashtra elections, and now the ECI is saying that the SIR process is going on very well in Bihar, poll-bound Bihar. 1 lakh trained booth-level officers are working. In fact, the BLAs of parties have also been trained for this, and this is just process, routine process is what they are saying. What are you questioning, the timing of it or the process?
See, both the process and the timing. Everyone knows that at this part of the year, Bihar gets torrential rains. There are flood-like situation in the state of Bihar, and the people those who are generally impacted by this flood-like situation is the marginalized section, the downtrodden, the poor, the people those who stay in the down cities, the people who stay near the rivers, the people those who stay in huts and lower level areas, those who get impacted. So the time that has been given, the amount that has been earmarked is not enough for the entire review to be taken place. Our worry is they added voters in Maharashtra and they won the election. Then now that we are alert here, we had gone to the court. The court has directed them to give a list of people those have been added. The court has said that the CCTV recordings of CCTV cameras should be made public if people are asking for it. The court has said that the EC should protect its credibility by making it more transparent. But now, when they know that more voters, fraud voters, fake voters cannot be added, now they are come up to this level of deleting the voters, and this is what is happening in the state of Bihar.
But Mr. Hussain, this process has happened in 2003 as well, and the ECI is saying that 60% of the people will not have to show documents. They're also saying that it's only people who are born after 1987 will have to, show documents. And of course, I get your point about the timing also, but they are seeing this as a process that is routine, and most importantly, they are saying that this is a pilot project and that other states will also comply with this, and that they are being given 2 months. In fact, September is when the final revision list will come out. At some point, this had to happen, isn't it, sir?
No, see, we generally don't question the institutions. Institutions had huge credibility in this country, and I would like to put it on record that our institutions, especially the Election Commission, the judiciary, and some of the most important autonomous bodies in the union government, were emulated by the other countries. People used to come and ask how you are conducting such a huge election. But unfortunately, for the past 11 years, even an institution like Election Commission has come under the cloud of suspicion. Now people have started suspecting because the Election Commission is not in a position to clear the question, to answer the questions raised by the opposition, to clear the questions raised by not just the political parties, but also those people, those who are not part of political process, but then they are interested in free and fair elections. So the court has to intervene now and then to tell the election commission that they cannot act like a boss in this country. They have to be a part and parcel of the whole democratic process in this country, and they have to be transparent enough to convince the people that everything is okay with the elections.
All right, you're making a very important point. Pradeep Bhandari of the BJP also joins us. Pradeep Bhandari, the Congress insinuating questions on the motives, the timing and the process itself at this stage just ahead of elections. How do you respond? Mr. Bhandari.
Yes. Yeah. See, let us go to the essence of it. Mr. Hussain was speaking about the court. Recently, the Bombay High Court junked the petition which was related to the voter list in Maharashtra and the Maharashtra elections, point number one. So the fact of the matter is, not a single court, whether a High Court or a Supreme Court, has said that anything which has happened in Maharashtra is having even an iota of incredibility, and the elections were free and fair. Point number one. Now let us take the argument of the Congress party forward. The Congress party has been claiming that the voter list was not sanitized. Now if the election commission, as per the constitutional power under 324, which it has been exercising since 1951, where it has conducted multiple special intensive revision, if is doing so in Bihar, and not only in Bihar but is also doing so in Tamil Nadu, Bengal, Assam and various other state elections, I wonder why the Congress party has problems, because there are more than 1 lakh booth level agents appointed by various political parties and more than 1 lakh booth level officers. So in a scenario where an individual has not been added to the voter list, hypothetically a member of the opposition or a voter of the opposition, I believe opposition has booth level agents in every village of Bihar, and they can approach the election officer in that area.
Okay.
So it is very hysterical and fallacious to think that a normal voter will not be added. Just 10 seconds of point that I'll complete, which is there. Taking forward the argument that Bihar, there will be floods in Bihar. Kosi is a region where majority seats are won by the Bharatiya Janata Party and has been traditionally prone to floods. But
Right.
I have not opposed it, because this is a free and fair exercise. So I believe Congress is only doing so for political reasons in order to have a defense mechanism for losing Bihar elections.
Okay, Mr. Virag Gupta, there are many questions being raised about the two deadlines here, 1987 and 2003. 2003 we know was the last time SIR was done, and 1987 was the Citizenship Act amendment that came into force. This is a document-scarce state that we are talking about, sir, Bihar. When you ask people to produce birth certificates of their parents, it might lead to some sense of doubts as well. How will you justify the SIR process as routine and procedural?
It is the 75th anniversary of the Constitution, and Constitution, there are two provisions. Article 324, wherein the Election Commission has other powers, and secondly is the Article 326, where it is duty before elections of the Parliament or the State Assembly. Now, there are two rules are there. One is the registration of electoral, and second is the representation of people act. That's are there. Now, three type of revisions can be done. One is the summary revision, which is done every four times in a year. Second is the special summary revision, and third is the intensive revision. Now, let us understand that we are doing so many KYC checks. Like for mobile, we are doing the SIM card verification. For tenant, we are doing many verifications. For cyber fraud, we are doing the bank account KYC, other things. So these voter lists are the only document in India which gives rights of nationality, which reflects the nationality right. So for the health of democracy, such type of verification, such type of any intensive verification must be welcome. Now Election Commission has to ensure only two things. First thing is that it should not be limited to Bihar. It has to be done in all the states, so that motive cannot be there that it is only done in the Bihar. Secondly, like Governor of Reserve Bank, which gives that, yes, I am duty bound to honor this rupee note encashment. In the same manner, Election Commission should issue a special helpline number so that none of the person should be deprived from the voting right, because everybody has the voting right. But secondly, Election Commission has to ensure. Now, three type of discrepancy will come after this verification. One is the duplicate voter list, because somebody is registered in Delhi and Bihar, both the places. So normally ordinary place of living, they should be there. to
Right.
do those duplicate voter lists should be there. Those who are died, they should be removed. And thirdly, those who are not Indian national should also be removed. I think this is the constitutional
absolutely.
mandate for the election commission.
You're making an important point. Nasir Hussain and Pradeep Bhandari, 30 seconds to each of you. Given that credibility of the process is at stake right now, what needs to be done? First Pradeep Bhandari and then last word to Nasir Hussain.
Well, I don't think the credibility of the process is at stake. The political parties should appoint more and more booth level agents, and the Congress party earlier used to question the EVMs. They could not prove even in iota. Then it went ahead and questioned the judiciary. They could not prove in iota. Then they went forward and questioned the voter list. If the Congress has any credible evidence, they have the courts of the country to approach. But please note, the courts not even once has entertained a single petition by the opposition because they found there is no merit. We cannot attack our institutions just because we are losing elections.
I think
Nasir Hussain, last word to you.
I think the BJP spokesperson forgets the judgment of Chandigarh High Court, where it was clearly said, it was not by any party, it was by an individual, where it clearly said that all proof should be given. Voter list and the CCTV camera should be made public if somebody files a petition. It is very clear in it. Supreme Court came heavily against the Election Commission and said that Supreme Court cannot
CCTV is
behave like
public
a boss.
already for
they
the
have to
candidate.
be transparent and they have to come out with the voter list. And then what is more important is the questions that have been raised not only by Congress party but by other political parties also have not been answered convincingly. They have to take the opposition part, especially the opposition parties, if possible, even the parties those who are there in power, they should have all.
But how could the Congress win in Telangana and Karnataka with the same logic?
Go ahead with these kinds of
we'll
reviews.
leave this
Today,
leave the conversation here for
why
one line.
is he speaking in the middle?
Mr. Hussain,
is
you're having
he
a defense
interrupting me?
mechanism
Why
because
is he
you know you're
interrupting me?
losing Bihar elections.
I didn't do
That
that.
is the reality.
This conversation
you
here for
allow
the
me to
moment, but
speak.
we'll keep a close focus on it.
If you want to speak, you speak for separate.
Thanks very much to all three of you for joining us. Go ahead, Vasudha.
Completely out of time. Thank you both of you for joining us. Veera, you were saying something.
No, with the conversations done, we need to move across to another newsmaker this evening, Vasudha.
MIM's Asaduddin Owaisi, in fact, addressed a press conference today. Veera, talking about the same thing. He joins us now for a quick chat. Thank you, Mr. Owaisi, for speaking to NDTV. You raised a lot of points against the SIR process. You have talked about the lack of birth certificates in Bihar, the timing of this exercise. But, sir, it is the opposition that raised questions on electoral rolls. And now the EC is only attempting what it calls the purification of the rolls. In fact, the EC says this is a process that's going on smoothly with the BLOs and volunteers, and not just will duplication be weeded out, but also the process will ensure that only Indian citizens will get to vote, which is something that the Constitution mandates. How do you look at this?
See, first of all, you have used the word purification and only Indians should be there. Is the ECI saying that the 2024 Parliament election voter list was not pure? And if that is the case, then would the ECI allow all of us to file cases against the result of Bihar? Secondly, how can you say that in 2024 one has the right to vote, but not in 2025? That in itself is a grave violation of Article 14. You are creating two classes of voters. And for that, there should be some reasonable basis. That reasonable basis is not there. And fourthly, the Election Commission data published for 2024 Parliament elections say that 7,72,59,579 voters are there. Now the ECI is saying that 4.96 voters from 2003 would be automatically taken in. How can you stop the other voters? You see, when you allowed them to vote in 2024 Parliament elections, which brought in Mr. Narendra Modi as a Prime Minister third time. And the fourth most important point is that the civil registration system in Bihar clearly tells us that in 2000, the birth registration was only 3.7. In 2004, it was 11.5. In 2005, it was 16.9. And please juxtapose these figures with what the Election Commission has come up with now. that the electors born before 1/7/1987 have to provide place of birth. Now, second, the important point is the electors born between 1/7/87 to 2/12/2004 and electors born before 2/12/2004. Now, if this is the abysmal rate of registration of birth certificates, how do you expect that all names would be there? And last and important point is that BLOs have been given unbridled powers. If you go there for 2 or 3 times, that voter is not there. And please understand that many assembly constituencies in Bihar are majority are rural constituencies. So the BLO has the right to refer that particular voter to the ERO, AERO, and then they can refer him as suspected foreign national under Citizenship Act 1955. Now that will not only disenfranchise that Indian voter, but will also cause a huge loss of livelihood. Now, these are all the issues, and why is the ECI?
Sir, even as you make those points vehemently, this process has happened in the past as well in 2003. In fact, the EC says it's ready for a dialogue, but it is the opposition that does not turn up.
First point to the question you asked. Last time SIR was done when there was 1 year to Lok Sabha elections and 2 years to the Vidhan Sabha State Assembly election. You are pushing this whole process to do it in 1 month. How is it possible? How can you do it 1 month? And moreover, can the election commission please tell the country the rationale for choosing the specific dates? What is the rationale for that? And lastly, madam, the Election Commission of India is bounded by the Supreme Court judgment of Lal Babu Hussain. The Supreme Court has clearly laid down safeguards. You cannot rush and undo it. So, and tomorrow, if the elections are held, and I'm sure that many names will be missed, who will take this blame? And the last point is that whenever political parties go to election commission, they say, no, under Article 329, we are superior body. You are a superior body during election time, we accept it. But now we are equal. You should call an all-party meeting, tell us, take us into confidence, we'll give you. Now, if you want to do it in 1 month, it is impossible to do it. And my apprehension is that there will be not 1,000, but there will be lakhs, maybe in crores, people names will be missing from the voter list and they will be disenfranchised. And unfortunately, it will be a great democratic loss to them, and who happens to be all Indian citizens.
If you look at the process of the SIR, all voters will have to fill up this enumeration form. So clearly, voters of all parties will have to do this. This is a state where the opposition is also very strong. So when opposition calls the process completely biased and the ECI as a biased institution, where do you stand on that?
I am not going on that line. I am saying that everyone stands to lose. Unfortunately, it is the voters which stand to lose. And please understand, 5 years ago, what was the difference between the total votes gained by the NDA and by the Rajat alliance? It was few thousand votes. Now this will decide. So that is why we are saying, moreover, this about illegal immigrants. Okay, what is the data which ECI has? And did any illegal immigrant vote in 2024 parliament elections? What is the quantum ratio? What is the database ECI has to scrutinize documents which will submit it? So the BLO will come to you, to your house. He will come once, twice and thrice. And please understand, majority of the youth of Bihar have migrated. They migrate because of economic reasons to Punjab, to Kerala, to Mumbai, Hyderabad, Delhi. And the Seemanchal area in particular, more than 6-7 weeks, the whole majority of the area is cut off. Thousands of acres of land is cut because of flooding over there. Now you want to do it in 1 month. And that is quite surprising and shocking that the ECI is doing it.
So at this stage, what is a suggestion that you would have? Is the timing the problem, or the fact that the process will have to end by September for the final list to be published?
How is it possible for the BLOs to do it in 1 month? It is humanly impossible. You have round about what 8 crore voters. How is it possible for them? So what you will be doing is that we know what happens on the ground. The BLOs come to political parties. Please help us out. So we help them out. Then what happens in that scenario? That was very difficult. And the last point, when did when was the decision taken? Because you see, in the ECI had called for a meeting on 23rd April 2025. They were training BLAs of political parties. You didn't inform them. The summary voter list would have been enough to take out all these doubts about rapid urbanization, migration, non-reporting of deaths. But doing an SIR in such a short span of time, it is totally uncalled for. I hope ECI would reconsider the decision and postpone it. Postpone it.
Thank you, Mr. Owaisi, for speaking to us and for those suggestions. Clearly, the SIR becoming the latest flashpoint between the opposition and, of course, the ECI, with the ECI becoming the political target. And Veera, this is supposed to be a process, but it's become politicized in nature. We'll have to wait and see how these processes turn out. But clearly, it's going to be a big flashpoint before Bihar elections.